Whata?
And g'day, I'm Michael.
And I'm Janet. And today's episode we are going to talk about the F word.
No, not the 4-letter variety, but a 6-letter one that, if you can learn how to utilise it the right way, will empower you, your relationships and your life.
That word is forgive. The etymology of the word forgive cites meanings from Latin and Proto-Germanic, including and not limited to give up, release, and give away. And therein lies the keys to forgiveness: giving up the grudge, releasing and letting go.
How many times do you hear people say, I can forgive, but I'll never forget what she did or said to me? That is half-assed, and it's a half-assed forgive. And guess what? When you do this, you hold on to an unhealthy dose of resentment and plant it into your psyche, and in time it will develop into an old scar tissue that will reactivate every time you think of that person or event.
In fact, you'll keep reliving the event on a cellular level and in real time. Your subconscious can't distinguish between an event that is actually occurring now and a memory, particularly one that is filled with high emotion. The event becomes part of your subconscious play reel, and as we've discussed previously, this part of your consciousness plays in real time, just like it is happening right now. So every time you forgive and don't forget, you keep the event loop looping around on your memory, enabling the distress to live on and on and on. It's just not healthy.
Yeah, it sure isn't. I've seen this happen in so many instances over my life with both family and friends. They hold on to the past, refusing to let go or forgive and move on. And you can see in each recount of their situation the charged emotions rising to the surface as if the event is actually happening again. You can actually literally feel the charge in the room, and you can see their physiology change. And holding on to this is so unhealthy. And as we talked about in a previous podcast, this can fester and then begin to manifest in disease. And to illustrate this point, I'd like all our listeners to remember something in their past that carries with them an emotional memory. Now, it can be, doesn't have to be bad, it can be good or bad. But what I want you to really do is focus on it. See it so clearly in your mind's eye in every detail that you're actually going through it again and watch it unfold. And when you do this, I bet you feel all the emotions that you felt when the event actually happened to you, don't you? You do. It's almost like you were there again. And that is your subconscious kicking in, because as we said, it can't differentiate.
Now, I'm not saying you don't learn from the event where someone said or did something to upset you. The lesson is a gift. Sure, store the learning away, but for your own health and well-being, you need to learn to let go of the event that upset you. Much of people's anxiety, anger, and negative attitude is formed because of this non-release of past events. December 14th, 2012, our family was in a US lounge waiting to fly back to Australia when the horrific news of the Sandy Hook elementary massacre was breaking news on all the screens. And I remember the shock watching this event unfold and thinking at the time, how will the parents of these little souls ever recover?
It was really bad.
It was horrific, yeah. When we got home, I sent across some of my children's book series on love to the Sandy Hook Library. And a few months later, I received a letter back from the school's librarian team expressing their gratitude and how the community was slowly coming back from such devastation. Some parents, including Mum Alyssa Parker, who lost her 6-year-old daughter Emily, had written a book called An Unseen Angel, and she'd moved through the void of despair and into forgiveness. Their stories are a powerful example of the higher road. Higher but not easier. For a lot of people, it's just easier to hang on to the hate. Working through the anguish to a place of forgiveness takes a lot of effort.
Yeah, a lot of effort. And when you think of an incredible trauma an event like this one causes, it makes you really aware of putting into perspective some of the minor issues that people can't seem to let go of and release. You know, they're really minor issues. You know, we've worked with some clients who have deep wounds in their relationships with family or friends and often can't even remember that the event that started it all. At times these wounds started with a really insignificant case of taking offence to a comment that was made to or about them. And would it have been great for them to remember here, what other people think of me is none of my business.
Would have saved a lot of pain and many tears for most of them. We're not saying to be a martyr here and just sit there and take it when people say or do hurtful things. Call them out on it. It's the only way they'll learn what they do is not acceptable. Just don't store it away in yourself and ruminate on it. As mentioned earlier, the damage it causes to yourself and your relationships is so not worth it.
Yeah, it's not.
If the person proves themselves to be a repeat offender with their comments or behaviours, move away from them for your own safety and your sanity.
And what about kids caught in a breakup requiring forgiveness?
A couple of clients we've worked with during the breakups of their marriages or long-term relationships have set a really stunning example of how not to cause collateral damage to their children in the forgiveness fallout. They've led by example the mantra that no matter how the two parting adults feel about each other, they are indeed both parents to their respective children. Their children come from both parents, and they choose not to slander or deprecate the offending partner. Their children's identities and self-awareness are strengthened and protected by these actions. Mitch, what about generational grudges?
Yeah, it's a really good question. There are so many examples of not just people you will know, but through history. And these examples transcend generations. And this is where you see generations of conflict between peoples that haven't forgiven for the other's past events and still carry the anger, hatred and disdain for them. And including where this generation hasn't even been exposed to the supposed wrongdoings to them. But they've carried this through and continue to perpetuate them. And there will be an element of this that's also carried along by their ancestral influence, but I firmly believe that this is also generated in their DNA and then supported by the ancestral views. So we were recently at the London War Memorial, and this really brought to life the intergenerational memory and prejudice that we can carry. I've got really close friends who were born in Australia and descended from other cultural backgrounds, and these friends have never had directly anything done to them, anything bad done to them by another racial group or another group or race, yet they hold the prejudice and hatred of this other group, just as if they've been directly affected. And this is exactly where conflicts continue to go on and on and on. Now we all hear the saying that to err is human and to forgive is divine. Well, it's so true. And I hear you say, that's all fine, but what this person did to me, I just can't forgive. Yeah?
Yeah. Some people do feel that. I mean, my dad, who fought in World War II against the Japanese in Papua New Guinea, didn't talk to us much about the war. But when I was in secondary school, we had a Japanese exchange student come and share our home. Dad welcomed her in his gentle, loving way and was an incredible example of how to let go of that intergenerational and historical prejudice. He did not let the pain of the memories of his years of service affect his heart. He had forgiven and released all of them. He was an awesome example of forgiveness in action.
Well, there's also another saying, that people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Or, as the great man Jesus put it, and he was a great man regardless of your religious preferences, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. Well, you know what? We all live in glass houses.
Oh, yeah.
We've all done something to someone, all of us, which has upset them or hurt them. All of us. Now, it may not be on purpose, but we've all done it somewhere along the line. So listen up, people. It really is time to forgive, to truly forgive, unconditionally. We are human, and we all make mistakes, and we make bad choices, right? It's part of who we are.
We don't need to keep reliving events that happened in the past. It is the past and you can't change it. You can only change what you do now. The choice is yours and yours alone. It's natural to be angry if something has upset you, but continuing to hold on to the anger really serves no purpose. Life is way too short to continue focusing on past events that are negative. There is only right now. So seize the moment, move on, and forgive. It is not only cathartic and healing for you, but if everyone could do it, it would heal the world.
Yeah, sure would. Jeeps. We've prepared a special session to assist everybody, and anyone needing help in forgiving a person or an event. So head over to our gift section on our website. That's www.chrysalisgroup.com.au, and that's chrysalis with a double L. And access the session called the F Word.
Love and blessings until next time.
See you guys.
Thanks for watching this video, and we hope that you got a lot out of it. We would love it, be grateful and appreciative if you would take the time to like this video, comment if you feel inclined, and share with any friends that you think would benefit from this. We are constantly creating new great content, so also remember to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the awesome material that we have coming up. See you soon.